Welcome back to the space where we prioritize the women behind the titles. If you've been with me from the beginning, you knew this show as Black Motherhood Unplugged, juggling life, work, and kids. But as I have grown, the mission has evolved. This is now Inner Healing with Jazz. I'm Jazz Ashby, author, spiritual empowerment coach, and a woman who finally decided to stop living for everyone else. This podcast is for the eldest daughters, the single mothers, and the Black women who have spent years lost in everyone else's mess. I spent the last year reclaiming my peace, my identity, and my soft error, and now I'm here to help you do the same. Whether you are healing from the past or protecting your future, you are in the right place. Let's get into today's journey. Hi, my beautiful ladies. How are y'all? All the beautiful ladies a part of the Healing Circle. How are you feeling today? I hope all is well on your end. I'm going to be very intentional and I'm going to take my time with today's episode because I feel it in my spirit to do so. And also, you're getting this episode recorded shortly after my own personal time with God and with myself. I want to preface this episode is different from the others, or maybe not, who knows, because from time to time this happens to me and I know that it may be something that you've possibly heard before. Some of it, not all of it, of course. But I want to be intentional with you all. And this is very important because if I go through this and you all are listening to my voice, I know that you all go through this as well. And this is why I started off by saying, hi, beautiful ladies. The ladies are part of the Healing Circle. I want you to take a moment to be with yourself right now. If you're in the car, listen to me, but also when you get home, go to your room or go to a quiet space rather. Go to a quiet space in your home and just take the time to listen to this episode because it's very important because a lot of the times we're on autopilot. And you know what happens when we're on autopilot. Our mind is not connected with our bodies and we don't know what's going on with our bodies because we're just on autopilot addressing what's going on outside of us. And it happens to me from time to time. And my body always tells me, hey, you're not listening. Take a moment. And this is a reminder for you all to take account, to pay attention to what your body is telling you. If you have a headache, if you feel tension in your shoulders, in your neck, if something hurts, pay attention. Yesterday for me was very stressful. It was a very stressful day. I haven't felt that stressed in a very long time. I haven't felt so tense in my neck and shoulder traps in a very long time. And it wasn't because of a hard workout, an intense workout. It was because of the events that happened yesterday. And I was over it because I was in autopilot and I was ignoring Jasmine. And in that moment, I said, you know what? We haven't felt like this since last year, the beginning of last year. We're going to pay attention and we're going to go back to it's a no. But there are some things that will happen that is beyond your control and you cannot prevent it. Here's what I do to reset. Here's what I do to come back to me. Here's what I do to tap in, literally. So this morning when I got up, and mind you, a clear indicator to me as well when I'm actually tired or not my best self, because I don't get colds or anything like that often. Allergies, that means I'm like, this is for me. I'm mentally exhausted and physically exhausted. I sneezed all night last night till the morning. So I didn't really have a good night's rest last night. And I don't even remember what I dreamt. So I know that today I'm going to be very intentional and very slow with myself. I am not rushing anything. I'm going to be patient with myself and I'm going to practice patience with my 5-year-old. You see how I did that there? You see how that, because if you got kids, you guys know how it is with 5-year-olds. They move at the beat of their own drum. If things are urgent, if you're talking to them in an urgent sense, you're like, hey, hurry, do this or whatever. They're going to take their time. My 5-year-old takes his effing time. But it also teaches me, because I'm always in a constant state of what is the lesson here or what is it that I'm not paying attention to. And I don't have to rush all the goddamn time. I don't have to rush to get anywhere. I'm in a vehicle. I cannot speed past time. I cannot make up time. If you're going to be late, if you're late, you're late. There's no rushing past your, if you're already late, there's nothing that you can do about it. If you set yourself to do 8 tasks today and you only completed 6, and it's getting to the point where I got to get to bed at a decent time, that the last 2 tasks have to carry over to the next day. You are not a robot. You are human. And just because you are willing and capable to do things and a lot of people count on you, you have to count on you. You have to take your time. You have to be intentional and practice living a soft life with yourself, whatever soft life means to you. And I'm sure that there are some of you that can't stand the word soft life or the phrase soft life or what does it mean. I get it. But if you're listening to my voice and you've subscribed to my podcast and you're listening to what I am saying, it is because you desire that soft life or you desire to live an intentional life where you're not in constant survival mode. So this morning I got up, I went downstairs and made myself and my 5-year-old some tea. He starts school next week, so I fed my cats and I fed my sister's dog. And I'm giving you like a play by play because I'm really taking my time. If you may hear my 5-year-old in the background as well. And I let my sister's dog go outside to go use the bathroom and did whatever. Came in and I even delegated light tasks to my 5-year-old. Hey, go let baby out. That's my sister's dog's name. Go let baby out. All right, go bring her back. Go put her back inside. Why after she fed and all those good things. And I fed my cats as well. I was saying kittens before. They're 10 months old now. They're about to be adults. So they're teens in cat years. And I did that, and I came upstairs, and I told my 5-year-old, because I gave him his tea and a banana, and asked him if he wanted fruits. It's good to start your day off with fruits, ladies. I read this somewhere. It was a herbalist. She said, start with berries. Start your day with fresh fruit. I've made a mental note to make sure that I start my day with hot tea. I used to do it. I did it a lot growing up when I was living with my grandparents. But when I started living on my own, I started to do things as the Americans do. I am American, but you know what I mean. And of course, as I'm older, now I see why my grandparents started their day with tea or my abuelita started their day with coffee. You need that hotness in your system to get things going. And I had my tea. I had green tea with a little bit of honey and a little bit of oat milk creamer, brown sugar oat milk creamer, because today is day 1 of no sugar. And the sugar freeness. Anyway, the point is I'm trying to give you a play by play of how I'm taking my time. And I drank my tea. I sat on my bed. I went to YouTube. I went to my meditation playlist, my prayer playlist, and I started to do the breath work. And I did that for about 5 minutes. I did it with my eyes open. I did it with my eyes closed. And then I went down to the bottom. Hold on one second, y'all. I don't know what my kid is doing. I went down to the bottom of the playlist and I saw that I had saved a 5-minute meditation prayer from, oh my gosh, what's his name? I got to tell you what it is while I'm here because I'm recording from my bed, as a matter of fact. Hopefully I can get to it. If you've seen the movie The Secret, you'll know who I'm talking about. It's the pastor with dreads. He's cut his dreads now, so he's completely bald. And his name is Michael Bernard Beckwith. And it was recorded on his YouTube page about 7 months ago. And it's called Become One with God in this 5-minute meditation. Now, the breathwork meditation that I listen to every day is called Breathing Exercises to Reduce Stress and Anxiety. And I'll be sure to link these YouTube videos in the episode notes so that you guys can go check it out and possibly do it if this is something that you want to do. But I'm also sharing it over the podcast because this is what I do. And it's called Take a Deep Breath by Mickey Maher, Maher. Again, I'll put the links in the episode notes. So I did my relaxing breath work for about 10 minutes. And then I felt to go ahead and finally listen to the Become One with God in this 5-minute meditation. And I absolutely love it. And I will also add this to my morning routine. And I sat down and I did that. And I'm taking my time. And I'm talking like this because this is me setting the tone for my day. And I did that. And as I was meditating and doing breath work from both videos. I saw in my spirit the things that I needed to do and something that I forgot about, didn't even write down, that came to mind. And I'm sharing this because a lot of the times when you do meditation or you're doing breath work, people think that your mind has to be silent, and that is not true, is not the case. You cannot force yourself from thinking or seeing things that comes to mind because you just allow it to happen. But stay in that space for as long as you can. The goal is to get to 30 minutes per day on meditation. And to some of you, it may sound like a lot, but this is for you. We give endless amount of times to others. We can give ourselves 5 to 10 minutes for a few weeks, and then 5 to 30 minutes moving forward, especially your time with God. So after I did the meditation, I sat here and I said my morning prayer. I thank God, I thank Jesus, I thank the universe, I thank my mom, my ancestors, I thank my guardian angels, I thanked my spirit guides, aka Holy Spirit. And I went into gratitude and I started to look around. I got chills saying this. I started to look around and give God thanks and praise for all the things that I have in my life right now. Even as I'm saying this, I can feel it again, because a lot of the times we forget what God pulled us out of. A lot of the times we forget that we can overcome a hard hurdle. A lot of the times we forget. I want you all to take a moment to think about one of the hardest things you've ever had to go through in your life, whatever that is. And now look at where you are today. Some of you may still be going through it, but you're seeing light at the end of the tunnel because you're listening to my voice. And I say that because when you don't have light at the end of the tunnel and you don't want to see it, you don't care about anything. You don't want to listen to no self-help podcasts. You don't want to hear about no prayer. You don't want to hear about God. You don't want to hear about any of those things. You are here. And I want you to take a moment to not forget about the desires of your heart that you set forth for yourself this year. Do not give up. It is only February. We're entering March very soon. We do not want to take our feet off of the pedal, but you have to continuously honor yourself. You have to continuously incorporate God into everything that you do. You don't know what to do? God, Holy Spirit, what should I do with this? Give me discernment, give me clarity. How should I move forward with this? Or put a covering over me in this job that I'm applying for, or this home that I submitted an offer for, or this apartment or this rental home that I submitted an application for, or for this school for my son, whatever the case may be. Go to God. God, I need guidance on this, and believe that God will give you some form of sign somehow. Take a moment to be one with yourself and God every single day before you are one with yourself and everything outside of God. Take it easy on your mind, body, and spirit. A lot of women hold stress in their bodies, and I've talked about this before. Make sure that you're taking the necessary steps to release it daily. Book a hotel for a day, one night. See if anyone can hold down your family, your kids. If you have teenagers, hey, mommy's going to stay in the hotel for one night and just have time for yourself. Or send the kids off to a family member or with their daddy. Take it easy on you, the same way you would with anyone outside of yourself. Journal. Write down how you felt today. Have a little notebook in your purse. And anytime you remember, write down how you feel in that moment. Have a journal book and have a task book. As we get older and we have so many things in our minds, especially for an ADHDer here, give yourself some reminder prompts and delegate what you can delegate to others. If you could have someone come to your home and clean your home, do that. If you could go ahead and drop your laundry off to a location like a laundromat, do that, so that it could be a wash and fold thing, and that just takes something off. And it doesn't have to be all of the time, just sometimes. Go through a mental inventory of what you got going on in your life, and anything that you could delegate to others, do that. I know that if you want it done right, you'll do it yourself, but you can't do everything yourself all of the time. That's why we have others that can do that, and you just have to trust yourself that you chose the right person to do just that. Also, take a mental inventory of everything and everyone in your life that is not serving you, that is causing you pain, that is adding stress to your life, that disrupts your spirit, and get rid of it. Go to God about it. God, I think I want to end this friendship or relationship with this person. How should I go about it? Pray on it. God, my kid pissed me the fuck off. How should I go about it? And that's a perfect example. Last week, obviously, I'm not going to go into full detail because this is still a podcast about me and how I maneuver life as the eldest daughter, as a single mother, as an entrepreneur, as a full-time mom, all these things. And I had my oldest and I had hit a wall, and the wall was pretty rough. And I was pissed. I was pissed off about it. And I had shared with you guys, I believe, that I had set appointment dates with my kids let me backtrack. Dates with my kids. I started off with my middle child on February 7th. Then on February 14th, it was with my youngest. And then on the 21st was with my oldest. And because he and I had hit a wall, I wasn't taking him anywhere because he got disrespectful and things got intense. And I'm glad that I have the therapist that I have because I shared with her what transpired. She said, well, you're wrong here. And I recommend that you still continue to date with your son because just because he was wrong in this situation doesn't mean that you should punish him for it. You're teaching him to deal with things with anger and you don't want to isolate him. And she was right and it made a good point. So I went on my date with my son, as opposed to all the activities that I wanted to do with him that day, the things that he likes to do. We just went to brunch and went to one of his favorite spots, and he absolutely loved it. And I absolutely loved it. Even as I'm thinking about it, this is my firstborn. And we go have brunch, and it's not even busy. And this place is normally busy as heck. We didn't have to wait online, none of that. So we get there, and we get seated right away, and we order our drinks, and then I began our mom and son date the way that my therapist recommended. And she said, when you guys have that time, share the things that transpired, apologize where you were wrong, and just talk about it. And I did. And I apologized where I was wrong. And I stood on business because he's grounded. But just because he's grounded or any of my kids are grounded doesn't mean that I'm going to stop loving them. And that was something that I also had to do in that moment, was to still show him, you disrespected your mommy. You're my son, you're my firstborn, and this is not okay. And you also did this in front of your siblings, and mommy did this, and this wasn't okay, and what I said wasn't okay. But I'm going to stand on business with, you have no phone right now. I took away his electronics until he graduates, and that's because of things that happened before regarding grades and stuff like that. That's how tough it is. That's how serious it is, right? And I shared with him some other things in other conversations, and then he turned around and he apologized and for his part in what happened. And I'm sharing this because I know that some of you experienced this, and I'm sure we're going to have other disagreements in the future. But what's important to me, as I mentioned before, is I've been a child who has gone no contact with her parents. And as you all know, my mom transitioned going on 5 years this April. And if I had the tools that I have now, or if my mom even had the tools that I have now, I'm pretty sure we wouldn't have those moments. We would have had disagreements, but we would have been mature enough and had the tools in our back pockets enough to use them and talk through the awkwardness and the uncomfortable conversations of the hard things that we've experienced. Because at the end of the day, we're family. This is my mom, this is my son. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? There are some family members that you have to stay no contact with because there's no change. Even with friendships, there's no change. So I say all of this to say, take care of you and show your kids that respect is number one. Self-worth is number one. You have to love yourself, all of the things. But also that when I wake up in the morning, I'm not picking up my phone to read emails, text messages. I'm not doing anything outside of me first, because it's always going to be me and God first, and everyone else and everything else second. So I encourage you to also, when you do the meditation, like I mentioned, do the breath work, or the 5-minute meditation with Michael Bernard Beckwith. But also when you are in your household, whether it's cooking, whether you're cleaning your room, go on whatever music platform you listen to. I personally don't like to do the YouTube ones because I don't know why. It's just my spirit. That's how I feel. But look up high frequency sounds on Spotify, Amazon Music, or Apple Music and just play it in the background and watch how your environment changes. And that's another thing too. I had to make sure that after what transpired with my son and me having a conversation with my middle child of what he saw transpire between he and I, that I came back and changed the frequency of my household because it's important. If ever you have a disagreement and you're like, it's still lingering, burn some frankincense and myrrh, crack those windows open, let all of the negative energy and the cursing and the yelling and all of that out of the household, and then put some positive frequency sounds on. Even when you're doing breath work as well, rather than listening to the video that I shared, you could just know that you have to breathe in for 8, hold for a few seconds, and then exhale. Excuse me, is it breathing for 8? No, it's inhale for, I believe, 6. Wait, breathe in for 6, hold for 3 seconds, and then exhale for 8, and listen to positive high frequency sounds. I think it's 528 megahertz or whatever the sound is. But I did that yesterday and it kind of also calmed me down as well. And I had it played in my room, and my cat, whenever I'm playing soothing music, they like to be in here and just chill. They're like, oh, it's good in here. The frequency is good in here. But also make sure that your aesthetic matches the frequency. Make sure your household is clean. Like I said, delicate. So that's what I wanted to share with you all, y'all. I hope this episode was beneficial to you all. For those that are that are in the healing circle, I will share a prayer over there with you all as well. And that's the end of my episode. I love y'all. Puppy, say.
See you later.
All right, y'all.